Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to Angels Speak. I'm Teri Angel, and I'm coming to you today to bring you a message from the angels like I do every day. I promised you I'd be here at 444 every day. Hello, everyone finding this on TikTok. Hello, those of you finding it on other social media, such as Facebook. Hello, Isabel. Those of you finding it on YouTube and those finding it on Twitter. Thank you for being here with me. I'm so excited to bring to you every day a message from the angels. So if you're seeing this, you're supposed to be seeing it. If you're hearing it, if you're reading it, however you're getting this message, that's the way it is, and that's the way that the angels have designed it so that we can all hear it, see it, feel it together, talk about it, discuss it, and just get into the energy of it. And I want you all to know that I'm really, oh, wow, they're taking me so deep lately. I don't even know how I feel about some things anymore. And tomorrow, my friend Sharon Ria of No Judgment, Just Love, she and I will sit down and have a discussion. And I'm kind of looking forward to it at the same time that I'm gritting my teeth and saying, oh no, because there's some really deep stuff coming up. And that particular conversation we're going to hold tomorrow, wow, I'm in awe at what I've already been seeing and hearing and feeling about what Spirit's been telling me. So I'm so ready. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for everyone who's following me on TikTok and listening in today and seeing what this is all about. And I'm coming live every day. So if you haven't seen any of my lives yet or seen my channel and what I'm all about, I'm an angel conduit, which means that I listen. I sit and listen to the messages from the angels, and then I bring it in for all of us. Oh, thank you, Cooner. Thank you for the likes. I really appreciate all of the likes. And you all are just blessing me right now as I go onto this new channel on TikTok. We have Pat Moss on Facebook, Helen Stanley, good afternoon, Grace Isis, and Auntie Jean. So let's get right to it then. Let's get to the reading of the message they brought through yesterday, which is called Make a Path. As a single footstep will not make a path on the earth, so a single thought will not make a pathway in the mind. To make a deep physical path, we walk again and again. To make a deep mental path, we must think over and over the kind of thoughts we wish to dominate our lives. That's from Henry David Thoreau. It is interesting to step back and be the observer of this thing called life. I can entertain myself really well by doing this. Isn't it interesting, though, that we validate ourselves by watching other people's response to us? If we don't like what we see in the face or body expressions of those we interact with, we tend to close ourselves down in self-preservation mode. We become like the robot from Lost in Space and warn, danger, danger, Will Robinson, danger. Any perceived criticism is reason enough to step away and cloak ourselves with an invisible shield. I have often said that the world would be different if we wore our thoughts on the outside of our head like little thought bubbles. Dear angels, if we could communicate with each other telepathically, life would be so different. How do we stop projecting what someone is thinking so we can just be our authentic self? Dear ones, when you find yourself interacting with others, it is best to focus on how you are treating that individual. No matter how they may seem to be reacting to you, remain your true loving self. It really does not matter what their perception of you happens to be. Therefore, if you are seeing them showing anything other than love, then step away and observe. Could it be that they are insecure or being triggered by some experience they have gone through? The observed response may have nothing to do with you. Try compassionately allowing for this as you observe. Always remember the law of oneness and see them as you, just in another form. How can you be more gentle, more loving, and more accepting with yourself? See that innocent child inside wanting to trust and present the opportunity for a blessed interaction. When you can show only love, you are making a step toward bringing more peace into the world. Do you not see, dear ones, that this is how your vision of peace on earth will take place? It begins with that spark inside of you and the desire to live peacefully with each other. When each of you strive to create a world that works for all, then peace will prevail. It is up to you to make that path so others can join you in walking on it. Dear angels, thank you for this message. I love you. And today, I promise to look for the positive in each interaction and show only love as I pave a path to peace in our world. Like I said, they really are going deep with this thing called life and their guidance in helping us understand that it's only us. When I'm looking at you, I'm looking at me. And when I'm seeing some kind of response coming forth from you to me, that's really me seeing myself through your eyes. That's just me saying, okay, what are you doing here? What is it that you're doing? How are you showing up in the world? How are you showing others this thing called life and how we can look at ourselves as each other in the oneness? I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I would love to hear how this particular message affected you, this message of making that path. So many times we sit back and we say, won't somebody do something? I really wish somebody would do something about all the hatred in the world, about all of the incidents where people are hurting other people. I wish somebody would do something about that. Can't we make a law? Can't we go out and stop what's happening? Why doesn't somebody do something? Have you ever had that thought? I have. I'll own up. You know, this is a time of being real and raw. And if we can't be real with ourselves, you know, what does that say about us? That we can't say, this is me doing that. This is me judging. This is me criticizing. This is me just wanting it all to get better without me having to do anything. Isn't that how we are as humans? We want things to change. We want it to get better. We want the sun to shine and rainbows and little bunnies and happy thoughts. But we want it to happen without any effort on our part. And this particular message is saying, that's not going to happen. What's going to happen is whatever you're thinking, whatever you're doing. Yes, we have a responsibility. We are here on this earth, and we have a responsibility to being on this earth, to showing up, whatever that looks like. Whatever we are doing is influencing everybody else. And I apologize, I had a phone call that was coming through, so it might have messed up the TikTok. I'm hoping that you all are still with me on here. And thank you to all of you that are finding this on TikTok. Thank you for being here. And we have Charlie Coons that came in listening to the message today. Prachetta, Catherine Kovacs, and Helen says, thanks for a beautiful message. You know, these messages are beautiful, but they're also thought-provoking. They're helping us to figure it out. And one of the things I'm struggling with right now is a message that I received today, a message that I was guided to look at. And I said, ooh, I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around that. I'm just going to have to really put some deep thought into that and see what it's all about. And I talked with my friend, Sharon Ria, and we're going to chew on it tomorrow. We're going to bring that particular message that we were guided to today. We're going to bring it forward into, my friend is not giving up here. We're going to bring it forward for all of us to look at and to try to wrap our brains around. So let's see what Isabel has to say. Isabel said it so resonates. Let me just tell her that I'm online. Whoops, she stopped. Okay, good. So the purpose of us coming across anything, coming across any teaching, any thought process, anything going on in our life, that purpose is for us to know it more clearly and to help each other understand it more clearly. So if you're listening to this, if you've either read the blog or you heard me read it just now, what does that say to you? What do you have to say about it? Or are you just still trying to wrap your brain around it and contemplate it? Hello, Lauren Riley. Thank you for being here. And Isabel said it reminds her of be the change you want to see in the world. That's exactly what it is, being that change, knowing that if something's going to change, if something's going to shift, it really is up to us. It's up to us to do something differently, to think a different thought, to bring through a different teaching. Let's see. Jean L'Oreal says, words, they can be misinterpreted by the listener. That may be the cause of many problems. When we listen with our hearts and our natural feelings, we open up more to each other. And as you said, our oneness. In New Mexico, there are paths that are 3 feet deep, made by the Native Americans over generations. Our world is sort of that way, but it is time for us to get out of the deep path and make a new, lighter path of love. The path of love is not heavy at all, is it? It sometimes can be difficult, as we talked about, I think it was yesterday, where we talked about how hard it can be sometimes to love those who are either disagreeing with us or doing something that's disruptive, disrespectful, dishonorable. Sometimes it's really hard for us to wrap our arms around that and accept that person as part of the oneness. But you know what? There is no discrimination. Everybody is included in the oneness. The oneness doesn't leave anyone out. The oneness doesn't say, oh, no, you did that, so you can't be part of us. Remember when we were kids and when we were teenagers and we had these little cliques, and if somebody didn't agree with our thought process, somebody didn't like what we liked, we just excluded them. We didn't let them in to our tight little circle. That's not how the oneness works. The oneness doesn't say, you can't be here. It doesn't say this is for everybody except those who believe this way or those who believe that way. No, the oneness is open to everybody. It's open to let us all experience, because that's what we're here for, to have these experiences, to grow spiritually, to help each other as Ram Dass says, to walk each other home. Home is in our heart, and it's in our heart where we're going to find that beautiful place of forgiveness, that place of just total acceptance. Accept, align, allow. When we can get into that energy without judging, without saying, I'll love you if you can be in my little circle of oneness if you do this or you don't do that. That's not how it works at all. That's the whole concept of no judgment, just love. Isabel said, this is a very hard exercise, but I'm working on it. You know what makes it hard is that we think that this separation thing is real. We think that we're all separate. We see somebody and maybe they don't have blue eyes and blonde hair like what I have. And we look at them and we say, oh, you have brown eyes and dark hair. You can't be the same as me. There's something different about us. The only difference is the garment that we're wearing. You know how when you pick out an outfit to put on your body and you'll look different with whatever outfit you put on? That's just what this is. That's what this thing called life is. We're all just wearing a different outfit. That's all. Can you wrap your brain around that thought? If nothing else is making sense here of what I'm saying, can you wrap your brain around that one thought? We are just putting on a different outfit. And I look at you in your outfit and I say, oh, that's not something I would wear. That doesn't fit me. That's not my personality. It's okay. It's okay for you to wear a mini skirt or for you to wear a pantsuit or for whatever it is that you're wearing. That's your garment. That's you showing up the way you show up to experience your life here on earth. And it doesn't mean that you're totally separate from me. It just means I'm seeing that different aspect of myself, wanting to do that, wanting to maybe wear something that's totally not what I would wear. And it's okay, because all of us together are having this experience. And Grace Isis says, looking with and through the eyes of love. When we can do that, when we can set aside the fact that there's differences in how we're experiencing this thing called life, and it's okay, then there's no judgment. There's only love. And love is all that's real. Love is what's going to be for eternity, not the judgment, not the harsh experiences that we go through. Only love. And Lauren, you filed your book today. Awesome. Congratulations. Blue is here. Hi, I accept the oneness. I also accept me, mindful discernment that just because of accepting does not mean it's right. Right's a judgment. There's right and wrong according to us humans, but that's a judgment call. What makes it right? What makes it wrong? And Sharon and I are going to talk about that tomorrow. I hope you all will show up so we can have a good discussion and bring you into our discussion. Isabel says, I understand, and it makes a lot of sense, and I am at peace with seeing only love and light in others. But most people we deal with, not aware of it and do not want to, so treat you with discrimination. Yeah, it's a fact of life that not everybody thinks the same way. We all have our differences. We all have things, right? From our experiences, from our thoughts, from our teachings. But it all just is. When we can accept the isness of all that is, then we step away from judging others. We step away from looking at them as different, because we're not. What we're saying may sound a little different, but we're all figuring this out. We're all figuring out how to be here together with each other and wrap our arms around each other instead of just respecting or putting somebody at arm's length just because they don't look the same or think the same or feel the same. Blue says, I ran into animal abuse today. No, I accept that it is with love. For me, it's not what I am about. Right. We don't know what that person that we meet is going through. We don't know the reasons behind what people do what they do. And there are things on this earth that are happening that we won't know. We can't comprehend it. We can't understand when somebody does an act of violence. We can't understand when somebody decides to kill another or to hurt another. That's just something incomprehensible that we just are not going to get the answer to right now. We're not. And when we accept that fact that I just don't get it, I don't understand it, but here I am dealing with it, right? That's the thing. We're not burying our heads and saying it doesn't happen. We're here trying the best we can to walk forward on our path with what we've got, with the knowledge we have, with the teachings that we have that say just love. And I think part of the figuring it out is when we can go into allowing for that, allowing that if all we do is show love, then we're not judging. Then we're not saying, you shouldn't have done that. Why did you do that? That's not right. And we're going into, again, what is right and wrong, what is up and down, what's good and bad. When we can just let it be, let each person do what they're doing, knowing that they are going to have to be okay with that themselves, that the karmic stuff that is there for that person doing whatever they are doing, all of us have that. All of us have that meeting that we're going to have when we're done with this garment, when this life is over, and at the end of the day, and we step back into our spiritual being. That's between us and our maker. That's not for anybody else to judge it. It's not for anybody else to say you shouldn't have, or it wasn't right, or anything else. Our only job is to love. When we can remember that, our only job is to love and to hold each other in that energy of love, then we can relax, we can breathe. We're like, oh, it's not my responsibility to judge. Okay. It's freeing. It frees us to be what we're here to be, love and light. And my mantra is only love and light are welcome here. Only love and light are going to come from me as I walk this path, as I open up to share whatever message comes through. It's only going to be shared with love and light, not with an eye of judgment, not with saying, you can't be part of our oneness because you did that, because you are a horrible person. That's not for us to say. We didn't create the oneness as individuals. We created the oneness as the creator, as the one who said, let there be light, as the one who gave us this life and breath. It's not for us to take that job to ourselves and to stand up and say, I'm deciding I'm going to be the judge today. I'm going to put this energy in there today, and I'm going to deem you to be unlovable or deem you as not worthy to be in my circle of oneness. That's not our job. If we can just remember our job is to show up in love, that's all we have to do. And Blue says, yes, though we are put in situations to make a difference, and I do so. Yeah, when we show up in love and we're shining our light, that's our job. That's what we're here for. And Lauren says, most killers are not like what we see in the movies. Nothing is like what we see in the movies. That's a fantasy. That's a written thing that somebody came up with. So when we can see humanity and all of humanity and just love, just be, let what is, and our only job just to accept and to love. Hi, Kathy Hand. Thank you for being here. All right, so I'm going to get off of here and end this. I went a little bit over what I normally like to be on time-wise, but I think this is a huge lesson for us all, and we can go a lot deeper with it when we sit and have conversation together in one place, right? And we can sometimes agree to disagree because we're not all going to see things the same way. And Blue says, Archangel Michael does so with love and light. Love thy enemy. He does so as a warrior of the light to help bring us to the light. Absolutely. All right, so I'm going to end the live. Thank you for being here. I love you so very much. I'll see you tomorrow at 4:44 Eastern Time, and I hope you can come back and join in the discussion. So much love to all of you. Stay in your heart and stay blessed.